Hello all, this is Zorch, and welcome to Zorch's Ranch. I'm not going to be going through a whole tour of everything that's here, but I did want to show the testing facility for new horses. So I've got a new horse here, and I would like to find out how great it is. So the easiest thing always to tell is the health. You can just look at how much health it has there and see, okay, it's got 10, 11 hearts. Let's just do half a heart of damage and see that, okay, it's not showing any damage. So this horse actually has 11 and a half hearts of health. That extra half heart is always invisible. I'm just taming this horse so I can do the rest of the testing with it. So I got 3 horses from the wild, and I've tamed. Excellent. So one of them is Phantom here, and then the other 2 are just over there. We've got Grendel, black in the diamond armor, and Hester, gold, but a brown horse. And so this horse here is the offspring of Phantom and Hester. And I've got some records on them. But let's see how we went about getting that information. Now, first of all, it is impossible for horses to just get out of here without jumping. And it's a heart because it's a breeding pen. Woo! Alright, so health, that's easy to see. But we also want to know how fast the horse is. So I've put together this testing facility. Give me a second, I just want to make it not nighttime anymore. So I built this tunnel. This is for testing how fast the horse is. So there's tripwires at the start and end, as well as some mechanisms, which I will get into in the future. But it's as easy as waiting for your horse to stop rearing and going. The trapdoors, you might notice at the other end there, have closed. That's just, so on this end it's to prevent going in the wrong way because it is a one-way traffic mechanism. And on the other end it's to stop you from going in until the mechanism is reset, which it will reset after you check how fast the horse was. So this chest after the run will contain the number of eggs, so you just have to open and look at it and see there was 9 eggs in here. So this horse, its speed in meters per second or blocks per second is 80 divided by 9, which I'm pretty sure is 8.8 repeating meters per second. So we'll keep that number in mind. Oh, and you can see that the trapdoors have opened up because the mechanism reset. Again, I'll get back into the mechanisms of how it all works later. So, horses on top of health and speed also can vary in their ability to jump. And I couldn't find a very clever way of doing this, measuring jump height, other than building as many possible gradations of jumping as I could. Fun fact, carpets are shorter than 2 layers of snow, and trapdoors are less than 3, all the way up to half slabs. Beds are in between, layers of snow, layers of snow, layers of snow, and then a path block at the end is the finest gradation that's less than a single block. So let's start somewhere in the middle here and go ahead and jump. Okay, we can clear that one. I think I should have made these 3 blocks apart so you automatically fell down. Oh. Okay, so this horse can't get over this one. So the last one it could clear was this one at 0.125, and we were in row 2. So this horse can jump 2.125 blocks. So let's write down all this information that we've got. I need a name for the horse too. Let's see, it was the offspring of Hester, which was one of my wild horses, Grendel, which is another one of my wild horses, and Phantom was the other parent. So the health, this one's health is 11.5, which is between 13 and 10.5. The jump height is the same as Hester's. Yes, and their speed is equal. This is actually kind of surprising because the way horse breeding works in Minecraft, let's just take a quick pause and come up with a name here. Let's name this horse Julian. Alright. So the way breeding works in Minecraft, for horses is it averages, it takes the two parents' attributes and generates a random pseudo horse with random attributes, and then averages all three together. So it's like every horse has three parents, but one of them doesn't exist. So the fact that the speed is the same is actually surprising, because that means that third horse also had a very similar speed. It could just be that the resolution of my speed testing mechanism isn't high enough. The way this system works, the longer the track is, the higher resolution you get. But mine is only 32 blocks long. Alright, so let's take a gander at how the mechanism for this works. I won't show you in this world, but in my test world. So this is a much dumbed down version of, not dumbed down, but it's definitely not as decorated as the other one. And it works exactly the same way, however. I just want to get this out of my hand. That was a terrible place to put it if I wanted to do that. But just to demonstrate that this also works, we run through the tripwire. Stuff is happening over on our right and the left. It's actually just two different versions of the same mechanism. The other tripwire stops it, and so that this light here is an indicator of whether the system is reset or not. It doesn't reset until I open this up, and if we wait, the light will come back on, and you can actually see a hint of how this light works here. So the way this works, when you hit this first tripwire, a signal gets sent to a T flip-flop, just a nice simple one. And that T flop, actually it is a bit clearer to see on this side. I'll show you on this side. Two parts of the mechanism are run at the same time. Oh, this looks like, there we go. I just have to reset that. All right, so two parts that run at the same time when this signal gets turned on. These two flip-flops, there's two of them, both get turned on to the left on mode. And as long as the left on mode is working, this clock circuit is functioning. So just as a demonstration here, if I put power here, that signal is actually too strong, I believe. So we'll just put power here, and my inventory is a mess, but that is okay. That is still too strong. Okay, how about there? There we go. So as long as the signal is on and isn't too strong, because... oh, that's why it doesn't work. Okay. It is just continually... it is activating this dropper, which pushes an item up above it. So if I just put this back down in here, that is continually pushing items into this chest. In the actual mechanism, it pushes into a hopper, which then pushes into a trap chest, and the trap chest has a hopper beneath it, which pushes back into the dropper. As long as I'll just turn this on here. So the signal's going, and this flip-flop is in this orientation. As long as it is in this orientation, that torch is on, and this hopper is stopped from pulling anything out of the chest. But the moment you open this chest, because it's a trap chest, a signal is sent. This trap chest, I'll try to orient it so you can see, activates the redstone repeater there, and flips this T flip-flop back into the right position. Right as in right left. And that allows this hopper to start returning things back into the dropper. Now, however, this has kept going the whole time. Actually, I don't have to go that far. Activating this turns off the timer. So essentially, there's two flip-flops. The one in the center, if it is in the on position, the timer is running, outputting one item or 2.5 items per second. If it is in the off position, then that timer is off and the dropper is not outputting anything. The items are held in the trap chest by the other flip-flop, which is turned off when you open the trap chest. Now, I mentioned that it outputs 2.5 items per second. So knowing the length of the distance between the two tripwires and the fact that it's outputting 2.5 items per second, you can calculate how fast, what was the rate of travel between the two. So if we walk through here, the one on the left is reset currently. So we'll just walk, we aren't sprinting. And a Minecraft player can move at about 4.3 meters per second, or blocks per second. So 19 items here. And if we divide 80 by 19, we get about 4.2. So the reason it's not perfect is because this track isn't long enough to get the appropriate resolution. However, I chose to only make it 32 blocks long because it could still capture all of the speed of a horse. So the maximum speed of a horse is about 14.1 or so meters per second. So that would still be more than one item transferred, and you would be able to see that speed. So that's how this mechanism works. It is much prettier in the actual world, and also I feel pretty nice about how it's decorated and how I've managed to hide the mechanisms. The trapdoors are pretty simple. It's just an adaptation on, instead of having a light to indicate that it's able to go, it is trapdoors to stop you from going through if it is not fully reset. And this time I'll try to make it so you can see. So that time I should actually have a weird speed, maybe 18 items? Nope, 19 still. So if I'd made it longer, I'd have better resolution, but alas, I did not. But I hope you all enjoyed, and have a good one.